Okay, testing again. We've got some pretty cool stuff going on here. I am having a lot of fun with it. It's got a little zebra turntable, but it's a pretty fun little script. And we are going to delete that, and we'll probably turn off the turntable, take it over to shaded, and show you what's going on, and then even go so far as to erase the thing. We'll go into Grasshopper and show you the ghosted image. There it is. It comes from what we did before with Rhino script syntax as RS, and we have brought it in here using uh, what you have to put in for that. But I wanted to get people shifting over to Rhino geometry as RG, keeping the import math. This actual function in Rhino script syntax actually used the math before, so I'm happy to see that I'm pointing in the right directions. And then we'll take all this information, put it on preview on, and we'll take that off so we can select what we're doing. Quite a nice point system that's generated. Pretty beautiful if you can think about that, trying to do that yourself. And that's made from two for loop ranges, I to 100. And keep in mind that I changed the XY here. It's hard coded in here. It's within function or within, yeah, the range function. But I also brought in multiplier by I, which I thought would be interesting, and multiply that by what I have control over on the X and Y. So we can really change the shape up and have some fun with it. You don't need to really go above 1 because you're scaling. So keep in mind that I made it outrageously larger than it needs to be. That's going to be a little boring compared to the other shape that was there, but we'll see. The editor shows that I've set it to 0 up to 2.00. Keep rolling and see if you got a little if loop. If it goes above 200, then it starts to flatten out, and if it stays under 200, so from 200 to 500 is going to do something different than when it's, and you see the multiplier by 5% of the iteration number are on I, and they just hard-coded in 20 minus that. So you're still dealing with numbers here that seem to work for you on scale. So keep in mind that in time you probably use less and less numbers and more algebra and equations as opposed to having have to be dependent upon these number sliders. Anyway, we've put it through a loft and made a pretty interesting form. I liked it. And of course, I've taken one, interpolated that, and then interpolated the other one, and then simply lofted those curves. I didn't rotate them or change the seam or do anything weird about those curves. They're simply going. And I didn't have to reparameterize them as 1 through 0, so that's kind of nice. I guess I could. It wouldn't make a difference. Lots to think about as you go into this stuff. But I was very happy that the forms that I had going, I was just outputting points. And at that point, I was coming in and I was typing in a negative node. And I had it here and I was pulling B into that. Then I was making it negative on the bottom here. And I realized I don't have to do that. I can actually go into the script and start playing negative attributes. And for what geometry I had going on, bringing in nodes, maybe I should have left that up. I felt, let's start to show how we move, because we'll be adding curves soon and doing all that. Let's start to show how we can put the maths farther and farther in here. So outside of going out of here and using graph mappers and sines and cosines and polynomials, we've got the math import here. So why are we importing math just to use nodes of math outside of the script? So keep that in mind. I didn't do anything fancy. Like I said, I kind of end this with just saying, well, why didn't you do something a little more exciting than what they gave you, cosine, cosine, and a negative? I should have done something exponential or dealing with logarithm, but I'll get there. Don't leave this little text down here because then your script won't run. Run it again, put it on your final object, and I think you've made a pretty nice form as a folded piece of paper that's generated. It would be very cool if you had a 3 or 7-axis mill or robot that could start carving away at that. Maybe not all the way through, but using the curves. I don't know. That's a whole other exercise of fabrication. Anyway, we're at 4 minutes. I'm just rambling and thinking about this thing. Nice, simple scripts with very few Rhino Common tools. But moving from Rhino script to Rhino Common seems to be the way I'm going to go. Thanks for watching.